So every week I'm trying to come up with something that I think's fresh enough. So far this week, it's not looking good. This is, you know, in terms of the design, it's spot on, really. I think for youngsters it would be really excellent. You know, your arms might not be as long as mine. And I think that Music Man should absolutely be applauded for doing something different, going their own way. You've got actually what is a really nice design body. But it's a bit of a headstock that only its mother could love, really, isn't it? Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Good to see you again, by the way. So another new affordable guitar here today, £425. This is the Sterling by Music Man Albert Lee signature. Yeah, if you're not familiar with Albert Lee, shame on you. Go and Google him up. He's one of the all-time great guitarists, really. He's a British guitarist who has been based in the States for many, many, many years, made a fantastic career for himself in the country music scene. Fantastic guitarist. This is an original signature design of his that Music Man obviously made for him. It's very pointy guitar, and I always think it's quite appropriate because if you can picture Albert Lee, and if you can't, go and have a look at a picture of him. He's quite a pointy person. No disrespect meant. I mean, he's just like he's a little bit of he looks a bit pointy, and he's a very sharp player as well. So this kind of does fit. I've never played a Music Man before. I had never played a Music Man until I got me hands on this the other day. They're quite distinctive, and the one that you're probably more familiar with is the I think the model's called the Access, but it's like the EVH kind of style one, isn't it? I always thought they looked a bit odd, and I didn't really see what the appeal was. So I'd never sought one out. It's an odd looking guitar. I thought, But this one I thought, well, that's interesting. It's something different. Not that the other one isn't. It's just different in a fairly ugly way. This one I think is different in potentially an attractive way. So I thought I'd give it a try. Having now got my hands on this and I've spent quite a lot of time playing it, it makes sense. It is a small guitar. It looks small. However, it isn't. In terms of the scale length, it's exactly the same as a Fender Stratocaster or a Fender Telecaster. It's 25.5-inch scale length. It's just that what they've done here is they've put the bridge, you know, quite near the bottom of the guitar, the lower strap belt there. Which has the effect of obviously bringing the nut, you know, closer to your hand. So it's very comfortable to, you don't got to reach very far. It's the exact opposite of the SG that we were talking about a few weeks back. So if you've got shorter arms, shall we say, this could be perfect for you. Very comfortable to play. It's got a slightly slimmer nut than a lot of guitars, and a really, really nice, sort of chunky-ish, nice feeling neck. We'll measure that all up in a minute and show you the profile so it puts that into context. But a few other little specs first. It has got a mahogany body. It's got a bolt-on neck, five bolt or 5 screw neck. It's got a nice contour there and a contour there, same as the Strat really, but it's got an offset body design. So it's kind of a mix of kind of like the Duosonic and the Stratocaster, I think. It's got a hard maple neck and a Jatoba, I don't know how it's pronounced. It's got a Jatoba fretboard, which is a species of rosewood, I understand. It's got, this funny stubby headstock, but it makes sense. The way that it's been designed, the strings go straight through the nut to the tuning pegs, so they go straight through. There's no angles to impede tuning stability. So I would say definitely a function over form in this instance, but that's just my personal taste. It doesn't say what the nut is, but it appears to be well cut. Looks like it could be bone, but I'm not certain. And the frets, they call them narrow. They're quite narrow and tall, but I wouldn't say they're not small by any stretch of the imagination. They do stick out a bit at the bottom here, I'm afraid. What I noticed straight away is they're sharp here. They're very sharp there. That would rip your tights completely. Up to about there. They're fine along here, but this bottom range there, which does kind of fall, around about the 12th fret. I can feel it when I'm playing. That needs a bit of work, that there. The tuners are these, basic standard die-cast tuners. Nothing special at all, but no doubt they do the job, because I've played it quite a lot and the tuning stability has been absolutely fine, even given that it's got a tremolo. So that's all good. So let's have a little bit of a closer look, shall we? What we will do is, as I say, we'll measure up the neck in a bit. We'll start off, I think, by weighing it. Let's see what it weighs. Okay, here we go. £7.14 or 3.59 kilograms. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is get the strings off and look under the scratch plate at the pickups and the wiring and stuff. However, before I do that, before I take the strings off, I'm going to take the back plate off and let's have a look at the, it's got a spring tremolo in here. So they call this a fulcrum tremolo. There's the arm. I haven't actually tried it yet, so let's just put the arm in. What's that? Screws in. So there you go. You can see what happens. Three spring. So it's just like a Stratocaster one, isn't it? Whoops. Fulcrum tremolo, they call that. It's all right in there. And they, in the tremolo bag, they give you a spare spring in case you want to increase the. I'm not a whammy bar user really, so I think that's going to stay in there. For now at least. Okay, so pickups, we've got two humbuckers, a single volume and a single tone, and a 5-way switch. So what's all that about, I hear you ask? Well, we'll show you. So Fender Hot Rod Deluxe 3 with the creamback speaker today, which is a 1x12. Right, and it's a Fender clean amp, which is what Albert would have used, didn't it? I've been looking at his playing. He's quite something. I can't do any of his stuff, to be honest with you, so it'll be a sort of a derivative kind of cleanish, kind of Eric Clapton-ish kind of. Yeah, I've been listening to JJ Cale and Eric Clapton actually this week, so I'm going to try and hope for a little bit of their influence has seeped in, but it's tough sometimes trying to work out what to play on these things. Just like most of you guys, you pick up a guitar, especially when the cameras are on. I know I talk about this a lot, but I do because it is really quite challenging sometimes to find the inspiration. You pick up a guitar and you know nothing all of a sudden. All those things that you've played, in the past years and years and years have gone. And obviously I'm trying not to copy stuff that I've done. So it gets harder because I've had some good ideas. I've stolen some good ideas over the last, it's 50 plus films now in the last year. Since I've been doing this. It's only been a year, but it's 50 plus films. So every week I'm trying to come up with something that I think's fresh enough. And sometimes it's more successful than others. And so far this week, it's not looking good. So anyway, let's stop blabbering. Let's just have a listen to the pickups, shall we, before anything. So the amp sounds like this. This is on the... So I'll whack the volume and the tone on full to start with. This is on the bridge pickup. And it sounds like this. It's quite bright, isn't it? Obviously bright amp. Oh, just to let you know, I've got that amp really cranked. That's on 8. But what I've done is I learned a fantastic thing from the JHS show. I don't know if you've got loud amps like this and you muck around with attenuators and power breaks and all those expensive gizmos to try and tame the sound. Brilliant tip from JHS show. They did a film on volume pedals. I think it was 7 things you can do with volume pedals or something like that. I'll put the link in the description box so you can check this out. Now I didn't know this, but Josh says one of the things you can do with a volume pedal is stick it in the effects loop of an amp, and what that does is you get the whatever you've dialed in hitting the preamp, but then you can turn the volume down. It's brilliant. It works. So this is a cranked Hot Rod Deluxe. So it is breaking up. It's hitting the tubes. I won't show you a before and after at the moment. I will get into that when we do the amp thing. But I had to tell you this because I didn't know that, and I've actually wasted quite a lot of money on various power breaks, whatever you call them, attenuators, sorry, that's the word. I've wasted quite a lot of money on, I've bought 2 or 3 attenuators that never really do what I need to do. They always, I don't know. This is a cheap, I've got a Boss, quite a nice Boss pedal, FL 500 or something like that. I should have looked before I started telling you, but I'll put a link in the, I'll put the info in the description box so you can find out what on earth I'm talking about. Okay, so anyway, that's the bridge pickup. So bridge pickup. Quite bright. I'm just going to show you the tone, rolling the tone off, because as you can see and hear, it doesn't really work, the tone on this, unfortunately, which is a shame. It's a shame. I'll talk about that in a tad more in a minute. The volume works. The volume's fine, that works. So that's the bridge pickup, full humbucker. I'll go straight up to the neck pickup, full humbucker. And blend the two together. And then what you've got on this guitar is coil splits. You've got a 5-way switch. So if you go to the bridge pickup, and then you can split that coil. Doesn't make a lot of difference, does it? And on the neck, you got, that's the full humbucker. This is the split. That's quite a nice, useful position, that. In fact, I think that's my favourite position on this guitar, having played around with it a bit. But my problem, in general, with these kind of fancy coil splitting options is they're always normally quite subtle, personally I find myself just mucking around too much, going from one position to another, and it having not significant enough effect to warrant the effort. What I would prefer is if the tone control worked, because I think you could do a lot more if they'd put the money into a tone pot rather than the coil splitting. You could probably do a lot more with it. Maybe, you know, maybe both would be better. But anyway, it's just, I mean, you know, a lot of people might find that useful, but I think, you know, I don't know. So I think the neck pickup's quite muddy in the full humbucker, but if you split it, it's exactly what I want from a neck pickup. It's got the girth. A middle position. Very usable. Bridge. It's like a telly. I mean, that's the humbucker, but it already sounds like a bright telly pickup. And I've measured these pickups. This is why. We'll see. Let's measure them. So the neck humbucker in position, let's call that position 5 that way. There you go. You can see that measures 7.95 kilo ohms. If you back that off to position 4, that splits the coil. I'm not sure if it's the inside or the outside coil, but it gives us just one of the coils. And you can see the measurement on that is 1.86 kilo ohms. Middle position, both humbuckers. That gives us a reading of 3.83. In the second position, that's the splits, the bridge pickup, and that weighs in at 1.99 kilo ohms. And then position 1, bridge humbucker, 3.66 kilo ohms. So, and I'm sure I've got those positions right. By the measurements, that would make sense that this is the full humbucker. Put it there, it splits it, 1.99. So it's a very low output on the you know, multimeter anyway. Whereas the bridge is the neck, I always do that, don't I? Whereas the neck is 7.95 kilo ohms. The bridge is 3.66. So yeah, that's the switches. So let's try and play something and fiddle around with them and see what that sounds like in context, shall we? Yes, let's do that. let's get these strings off and have a look under the bonnet. As usual, the screws are at a slightly jaunty angle, some of them. This one definitely is. Should be able to see the angle as that comes out. Okay, so let's just see if we can prop this pick guard up and see what is underneath. Aha. Right. I can flip it. That's where it's going. So you can see that clear enough on the overhead camera, I think. Nice lot of noise. What's wrong with me? Nice lot of shielding paint all inside there. So they've earthed it to there. They've earthed it to there and also to the tremolo, as you can see that. So there's an earth wire to there and there's an earth wire to the tremolo. So the pickups, lots of numbers and letters on the back of those. No hope of deciphering that. If I can't handle Epiphone ones, I've got no chance with these. The pots are not identified by brand, they just say 500k. What's that say? D, actually, I'm lying. It says D 500k. And then obviously you've got this switch has got loads going on. Obviously loads of different, wires and configurations going on to that. All sorts of things to go wrong is what I'm thinking. Yeah. Still. Okay, there you go. Let's pop that back. Carefully. Sometimes it can be a bit of a faff getting these without pinching the wires and stuff. I'm going to leave the plastic on the pick guard on this one. I don't think I'll be keeping this. I think I'll probably sell this on, so I'll leave the plastic on the pick guard for now. Not that I don't like it. I do like it. I like it a lot. But I can't keep everything, so, something's got to give at some point, doesn't it? Cool. All right, let's put the screws back in first. Oh, okay, so the truss rod adjustment on this is here. And in the little bag of goodies that they give you the little bar to adjust it. So I'm not going to touch it because I don't think it needs it, but it's a great design. Again, it's really handy. You can just pop it in there and tweak away to your heart's content. No faffing around. So great design. Again, this is, in terms of the design, it's spot on, really. Just weird looking. Okay, so here's the neck profile and measurements at the 1st fret. And here's the neck profile and measurements at the 12th fret. I think that's everything. I always think I've missed something. Well, I If I have, it's too bad. Right, what we're going to do is I'm going to put a bit of lemon oil on the fingerboard now, give that a bit of a drink, put a new set of strings on it, and then we'll come back and we'll have a little catch up, a little round up, and discuss. All right, see you in a minute. Cheers. It's a really well-designed guitar, this. It's, you know, at first you think it's it feels a little bit alien, but very quickly it feels very comfortable. As I said, it is a full scale length, but because of the layout, you're straight on top of it. It's very comfortable, and I don't often wrap my thumb over the top, but it feels, because it's quite a narrow neck on this as well, it feels nice and easy to do that, but it supports it at the back. It's got a nice profile, so I definitely like that. Not so easy to play up the dusty end because of the, where the frets are. It's a bit alien, but maybe standing up that's better. I think the pickups could probably be better. They didn't sort of shout to me as being wow. And all the switching, as I say, for me personally, I'd prefer just good quality volume and tone pots and good quality pickups, and dial in the. You'd need two volume controls. I mean, that's the problem with this, is you can't blend these pickups at all, because you've only got one volume. So when I say it's a well-designed guitar, I don't think this particular version, I don't know what the switching is like on the 3 pickup version, but this particular version, having one volume pot on 2 humbuckers, it's a bit restricting, isn't it? Tremolo is untested. I might play that again in the outro if I can. I'm going to try and do a little bit more playing, because I'm not 100% happy with what we've already got. So I might do a little bit more, and fingers crossed it might be better. Another good option. It's a different guitar. If you want something different, and I know I was going on, and we did the. What was it? The Larry Paul. Yeah, the Larry Carlton signature series. It was just last week, and from Sire, and my criticism was, they're doing a signature series, but they're not coming up with anything new. They're just making knockoff guitars, copies of those long-standing designs. And I think that Music Man should absolutely be applauded for doing something different, going their own way, and improving on some of the design flaws of the main 3 styles of guitar, really. Okay, Fender have always had a good headstock design. There's never been a problem with that. But Gibson has always been flawed because of the way the strings exit through the nut. I've yet to see a 3-side design that looks better than Gibson. This doesn't. I mean, it's a weird looking beaky kind of headstock. It makes these guitars look weird and stubby. It's confusing, because you've got actually what is a really nice design body. It's a really nice design, and it's got this weird headstock, but it works really well. So, you know, it's but it's a bit of a headstock that only its mother could love, really, isn't it? In terms of playability, it's really playable. It's really playable. I think for youngsters, it would be really excellent. You know, your arms might not be as long as mine. You know, so if you have reach problems, good, because of the way the cutaway is. Cool. There you go. So I think you just need to. I think if you just put a bag over the headstock, you're away, really. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I think we'll wrap it up there. It's fine. It's what it is. It's not something I'm going to keep. I'll send this off to a better home, more deserving home. However, added bonus to this guitar is I have finally found a use for my lovely British pedal company bag, where they send you the pedals in these things when you buy them. So I've been wondering what to do with that for a while. So here is the answer. There you go. Ready for the gig. Cool. See you next week, guys. Take care. Cheers.